Welcome back to our channel, fellow Port Charles addicts. Today is a beautiful day to break down the absolute madness that just went down on our screen. Grab a snack, and let's get into it. Before we even get into the plot, can we just take a second to appreciate that this is the 16,000th episode? I mean, that is a monumental achievement in television history. I have been watching this show through so many eras. Through the mob wars, the hospital takeovers, the Cassadine Island adventures, and everything in between. To see the show reach this milestone is just so incredibly special for us longtime. The writers clearly knew they had to pull out all the stops for this week, and honestly, they delivered. Bringing back legacy characters, introducing new faces like Dr. Tristan Roberts, and tying up these massive storylines that have been running all year. It is exactly what a milestone week should feel like. But of course, because it is Port Charles, the celebration is wrapped in layers of deception, heartbreak, and danger. I cannot believe they actually did it. I mean, we all knew the 16,000th episode was going to be massive, but Jason walking back into Port Charles on Monday, I am literally shaking right now after watching it. I've been watching the show for years, and this is the best thing they've done in ages. But wait, I have so many conflicting feelings about this. Jason is back, and he is catching everyone completely off guard, working overtime on Tuesday to explain his actions to the people who need answers most. And he has a lot of explaining to do. He took the fall for Rocco shooting Ras Cullum and ended up in a WSB black site in Jakarta. Because of course he did. Jason is always sacrificing himself for Sonny's but the spoilers say he is coming back a changed man. Like, fundamentally changed. He wants to focus on his family and get out of the mob. Am I the only one who thinks this is a pipe dream? Remember when they tried this with him years ago? Yeah, didn't work then either. The mob always pulls him back in. So I am bracing for the chaos. That always seems to follow him. And he is already warning Sonny about Rick Lansing, which just proves he is still operating with that enforcer mindset, even if he claims he... And speaking of Jason, what is this going to do to Danny? Danny has been absolutely spiraling, begging to join the mob to fight the WSB because he thought they took his dad for no reason. Now he knows Jason took the fall for Rocco. Danny is furious, aggressive, and feeling completely betrayed by the adults in his life. When Jason walks back in, preaching about wanting to leave the mob and find peace, Danny is going to short-circuit. I mean, Danny has been idealizing this violent enforcer lifestyle, and now his idol is suddenly a pacifist? It is going to be such a massive psychological clash between father and son. And Sam McCall. Well, we all know Sam is gone. Cyrus killed her and Dex, which is still a wound that has not healed for any of us. Jason coming back to a world without Sam? Trying to navigate raising a rebellious, angry Danny all by himself? It is going to be incredibly heavy. The writers better give this the emotional weight it deserves, because Jason cannot just walk back into Port Charles and pretend everything is fine. The trauma of that WSB black site in Jakarta has to be explored on screen, not just mentioned in passing. But let's pivot because I am losing my mind over Laura Collins and her latest choice that leaves Tracy Quartermaine absolutely appalled on Monday. I mean, Congresswoman Willow Kane getting the 16th seat on the General Hospital Board? Are you kidding me? Elizabeth Baldwin is standing her ground on Tuesday, calling the appointment brilliant, and I am just sitting here screaming at my screen. I know some people are loving this whole powerful Willow era, but personally I am so over it. Willow is currently hiding the fact that her husband Drew Kane is recovering from his locked-in syndrome, and she has been doing some deeply shady things. Tracy is livid, and honestly, I am completely Team Tracy on. Tracy sees right through Willow's sweet act. And we all know Brooklyn is currently framing Willow for Jordan Ashford's hit-and-run crash. So putting Willow on the hospital board right when she's about to be embroiled in a massive police investigation, it is a recipe for absolute disaster. I mean, Kai Taylor is already getting privy to information on Tuesday that could change everything, realizing Drew is becoming mobile again and fearing Willow might try to silence him. The walls are closing in on Willow, and giving her a board seat is just going to make her fall from grace that much harder. And can we talk about the sheer audacity of Brooklyn Quartermaine right now? Brooklyn is the one who was driving drunk, ran Curtis and Jordan off Route 91, and left them bleeding on the side of the road. And now she is using Brick to Dr. Willow's GPS to frame her for it? I mean, I know Willow is no saint right now, but framing an innocent person for a near-fatal hit-and-run is a new low even for Quartermaine. And Harrison Chase is just blindly defending Willow. completely unaware that his own wife is the true culprit. When Chase finds out the truth, their marriage is going to instantly detonate. Chase is a cop, he lives by a rigid moral code, and finding out Brooke Lynn manipulated him and perjured Lucy Coe to cover her tracks, he will never forgive her. Michael Corinthos is over here scheming to push Willow and Chase into an affair, and honestly, Brooke Lynn is doing all the work for him. She is basically handing Chase over to Willow on a silver platter with all these lies. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, back to the point. We desperately need to talk about Anna Devane. Anna receives a warning on Monday that she cannot ignore, and by Wednesday she is desperately searching for answers that keep slipping through her fingers. I am so incredibly stressed about Anna's storyline right now. She has been through a living hell in that French clinic, being gaslit and tortured, and now she is hallucinating Peter August. Peter August. I am sorry, but why is this man still haunting my screen? He has been dead since 2022. But these hallucinations are pushing Anna down a dark, vengeful path of pain and destruction. She is returning to Port Charles with deadly intentions, and it is breaking my heart to watch. Valentine Cassadine is growing suspicious on Tuesday of something he cannot quite name, and of course he is. Valentine knows Anna better than anyone, and he can tell she is concealing her deteriorating mental state. I just want Anna to get some genuine peace, but the writers absolutely refuse to let her rest. And speaking of people who need peace, Britt Westbourne makes an accusation on Monday that lands like an absolute bombshell. Britt has just been freed from jail after that whole horrifying ordeal in Tortola. She was gaslit with saline placebos, blackmailed, and nearly killed by Ross Cullum. Now she is back in Port Charles, and on Thursday Anna sits down to interrogate Britt, hoping to finally get the truth. I mean, can you imagine the tension in that room? Anna is operating on fractured logic, thanks to her hallucinations, and Britt is traumatized and furious. And then we have Liesl Obrecht lashing out at someone who has pushed her too far on Thursday. Liesl was held captive at Windermere, forced to work on Cesar Faison's Cold Fusion project, and she just found out that Cassius Faison has been posing as Nathan West this entire time. I would be lashing out too. Liesl has lost so much, and finding out her son's identity was stolen by his secret twin is just sick. I am fully expecting Liesl to go scorched earth on everyone involved. So then we have Carly. Carly is caught completely off guard on Monday, and I have to assume this has something to do with Valentin or Jocelyn. But by Friday, Carly is drawing a firm boundary with Sonny Corinthos, and she is unwilling to budge this. Yes, Carly. I am cheering for her. Sonny has been trying to dictate her love life, demanding she stop seeing Valentin, and Carly is finally putting her foot down. I've been watching this toxic dynamic between Sonny and Carly for years, and this is exactly what she needed to do. But of course, Sonny is a control freak, and he is already asking Brick to sabotage Carly and Valentin's romance. Because Sonny cannot stand to see Carly happy with anyone else, especially a Cassadine. Valentine makes his feelings clear on Friday in a way that leaves no room for doubt, and I am so here for this pair. Valentine risked his own freedom by reaching out to WSB head Z just to protect Carly and Jocelyn. That is real devotion. Sonny could never. Okay, let's talk about Nina Reeves and Jack Brennan, because they are plotting their next move together on Wednesday, and by Friday, Nina opens up to Brennan in a way she has not before. I know some people are loving this, but personally... Wait, no, I actually kind of love it? I am contradicting myself, I know, but hear me out. Brennan totally faked his locked-in stroke, which is unhinged, but he and Nina have this undeniable chemistry. They are strategizing together, growing closer as confidants, and inching toward a romance. Nina needs someone who will actually prioritize her, and Brennan seems to be stepping into that role. Plus, they are teaming up against Drew Kane, and after the way Drew has been acting lately, I am fully rooting for his downfall. Drew is recovering, he just fell into the Metrocourt pool and got saved by Gio, and now he is back to tormenting. Nina and Brennan taking him down would be poetic justice. And then we have the most devastating moment of the week. Cody Bell delivers news that nobody wants to hear on Thursday. We all know what this is. Cody has to tell poor little James West that the man he thought was his father, Nathan, is actually his uncle Cassius, and that he is deceased. I am literally crying just typing that. James has already lost his dad once, and now he is losing him again, finding out it was all a lie. James is going to lash out and go into denial, and my heart breaks for him in mass. Cody has grown so much as a character, and seeing him take on this heavy, compassionate role to support James is beautiful, but it is just so incredibly sad. The fallout from Cassius Faison's identity theft is going to ripple through this canvas for months. And we absolutely have to dive deeper into this Ethan Lovett situation because it is driving me insane. Lulu cautions Ethan on Friday about something she cannot shake, and she is right to be suspicious. Ethan broke into the PCPD, stole cold case evidence, and faked a DNA test with Elizabeth Baldwin just to pretend he is baby Phoebe's father from a one-night stand with the late Delilah Wilson. Like, what is actually going on here? Who is Phoebe's real father that Ethan is so desperate to? Ava Jerome holds a secret, and she is engaging in this incredibly flirtatious, tense blackmail dynamic. Ava is demanding he make it worth her while, and I am honestly living for their scene. But Brooklyn and Chase are currently fostering baby Phoebe, completely unaware that their entire adoption plan is built on Ethan's stolen police evidence and fake DNA tests. When this blows up, it is going to destroy so many lives. A dangerous face from Ethan's past is supposedly on the way, threatening to force him on the run. I just hope Ava doesn't get caught in the crowd. Finally, let's look at the hospital and teen drama. Curtis Ashford voices his gratitude to the people standing by him on Wednesday. He is facing a massive civil suit from Isaiah Gannon, and his hopes for a plea deal are fading fast. He is looking at real prison time for punching Isaiah. And then on Thursday, Isaiah interrupts a tense moment between Portia Robinson and Curtis. Portia is pregnant, she is stressed out of her mind, and Jordan Ashford's visit earlier in the week is going to send her into early labor. Having Isaiah hovering around while Curtis is facing prison is just pouring gasoline on the fire. I am so stressed for Portia. And speaking of stress, Trina Robinson is officially setting boundaries and distancing herself from her parents' drama. Good for her. Trina and Gio Palmieri get big news that changes their plans on Wednesday, probably related to their music showcase offers. I am so glad Trina is focusing on her art and her future instead of getting dragged down by Curtis and Portia's mess. And we can't forget Emma, Scorpio, Drake, and Gio sitting down to talk about their future together on Thursday. Emma is such a great confidant for Gio, and I love seeing the next generation stepping up. Plus, Trina and Jocelyn finally clear the air after weeks of tension on Friday. Jocelyn reveals a secret that has been weighing on her on Wednesday, which has to be about her WSB involvement, or the fact that she knows Jason took the fall for Rocco. Jocelyn has been holding on to so much dark WSB cover-up information, and it is eating her alive. So where do you think all of this leaves Port Charles by the end of the week? Sound off in the comments. Are you team welcome Jason home? Or team wait, what happened? I am thrilled to have Jason back, but I am definitely bracing for the absolute chaos that is about to explode across this town.